oracles, Tesla China sales are booming. We just got the latest data in from last week for sales, and they hit their highest sales number for 1 week ever in the history of the company. Last week they sold 13,939 vehicles. The week prior to that was 11,000. Prior to that was a lot lower, and you have to remember that back on October 24th, that is when they had the price reduction when it comes to all of their vehicles over there. Now, you also have to say, well, that week they only sold 8,000. But you also have to remember that it takes 1 week for all the vehicles to get delivered from the time that they are placed. This is why the minimum lead time is 1 week on the vehicles. So you can see within that 1 week time frame a significant jump in orders and deliveries. So we will see this continue throughout the rest of the quarter. Now again, we do know that there's a lot of different incentives that are going on over there. We do know that by the end of the year in China, they are going to be losing their incentive when it comes to the government tax credit. So this is leading a lot of people to be able to get their orders in before the end of the year. So we will see how this continues, and if it keeps on growing from here, we will see if the 13,900 is going to be the highest or if it will continue growing from here. I have a feeling it is going to continue growing. Now, as Gary Black had mentioned, the price cuts that they have on average have been 5.5%. He feels that they do not need to cut prices anymore. I agree, seeing as the sales have been climbing as they are. Again, this comes down to the pricing power that Tesla has. They can come down on the prices. Sure, they may take a little bit of a margin hit, but they would be taking them from like 30% margins down to 28% margins. Whereas when you have other manufacturers out there, like a BYD, if they took the same price cut on their electric vehicles, they would be down to no profits whatsoever. So that is the huge difference between the two. A lot of people come out and say, well, BYD has so many more sales from their new electric vehicles. The new electric vehicles also include hybrids. Hybrids will also be going away. That is that crutch stepping stone between ICE vehicles and pure EVs. When it comes to pure EVs, Tesla is still leading the way over in China. And also remember that when you are paying your bills, you don't pay your bills with units sold, you pay your bills with profits. So even if BYD sold 100 million vehicles at $0 profit, that means absolutely nothing because they still have to pay all of those bills with no money. Based upon the financials that we got recently from BYD, we found out that BYD needs to sell 7 vehicles to make the same profits for every 1 Tesla that is sold. That is significant. We've seen the same with GM. GM is around 5.5 right now. So when you have to sell and put in so much more effort just to make the same profits of 1, that is called efficiency. Tesla is significantly more efficient, and as they grow, that efficiency will grow with them. This is why they are able to pull in more free cash flow on the bottom line than even a Toyota. Toyota and other legacy automotive makers may sell more vehicles overall, including their ICE lineup, than Tesla sells, but Tesla's making more money. You tell me, would you like to make more money for putting in less effort? So, that's just really what it comes down to. And all of these legacy automotive makers are having to make that decision to cannibalize their own profitable business to transition over to an unprofitable business. And that is a scary undertaking that they all need to go through. Can they get through it? I'm sure they can, but will they? And what will they look like on the other side? So other things we have going on in the news, and I'm sure many of you have already heard this, Donald Trump has officially announced that he is going to be running for president again in 2024. So we will have the rematch of Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So you guys can let me know in the comments below how you feel. I try not to get too political. I'm kind of in the middle, very much like Elon. I would rather just see a good balance and people actually having discussions about what is the best for all of us versus saying that you should vote for me because I'm not the other guy. That drives me absolutely insane, and that makes me want to not vote for either one of you. So again, this is what we're dealing with right now. Don't know, it's still 2 years before we end up having the election. A lot can happen between now and then, but this is what is coming out in the news, and I'm sure we will hear a lot of this. We'll get a market reaction to it. As of the time of this recording, not much. It's basically flat on the day pre-market, so we will see how we move over the course of the day as we get more information from this. And who knows, with Donald Trump stepping back into the ring to go after the presidency again, maybe this will take mainstream media's eyes off of Elon Musk and stop vilifying him, and they can start pointing fingers over at Donald Trump again. Other things that we have going on today that could move the market are Nvidia's earnings after hours today. So Nvidia is one of those companies that I think is going to be very up and coming. I think it's going to play a vital role when we get into EVs in the future and what they could potentially bring for the whole world when we transition over. And quite honestly, when it comes to the FANG stocks, I think Netflix is going to fall out as the N, and I think Nvidia might end up taking its place. We will see how this goes over the future, but being as Nvidia is down just like all of the tech stocks that we have seen over the course of the year, tonight's earnings could end up swinging things one way or the other. You know, last time we had seen Nvidia move, we saw Tesla kind of move a little bit with it, so we'll see how we trade today after hours. And then of course we are also going to be getting more information about what happened over in Poland when it comes to Russia and a missile hitting over there on a farm. Sounds like it did end up killing 2 people. So still waiting to see how the market is going to react to this. We did see it pull down yesterday in the middle of the day. So that was that third bounce that we had gotten for Tesla at that $200 level. So we bounced from there. And so today we'll see how it goes. We'll see the different reactions. We'll see if anybody comes out and says anything, whether it's going to be President Biden or whatever. So we will wait and see how today plays out. That could end up being one of these black swan events that we talk about that, you know, you cannot predict, but again, we will just wait and see how things play out with this. And then when it comes to more Tesla specific news, we do have, I believe, Elon Musk should be testifying today in court over in Delaware. Whether he's going to be doing it in person or virtually, I do not know. I have a feeling it's going to be virtual, but he is going to be over there discussing his compensation package. That's what they are in court for right now. So some Tesla Q over on Twitter are really making a big deal out of this, saying that Elon's going to have this entire compensation package revoked. He's going to have to pay back all $50 billion that he had gotten. Then he's going to have to sell off all of his stock or give it all back to Tesla. This is just madness. Like, we will see how this all goes, but like, this is a compensation package that was voted on. Everything seems to be legal and kosher and legit. So there should not be any issues, but that is what's going on today. So if you guys read any headlines or hear anything in the news about this, that is what is going on over there in Delaware. And also just to follow up, I looked and there are still no Form 4 filings from Elon for last week, other than the ones that we had gotten on November 8th. So it seems like those last 3 days of last week, Elon was not selling. And one last thing I wanted to bring up to you guys is I've been getting a lot, and it's not a bad thing, but I've been getting a lot of emails recently for people trying to have me come on here and sell their own product and advertise for them. I'm not opposed to this, and I've had a couple conversations with you guys in the comments as well about this. We hear about some of these big name YouTubers that are out there with the FTX that they were pushing. We see what happened with FTX recently. When it comes to me, I don't mind doing anything like that if it is something that I am using myself and I see actual value in it that I can then share with you guys where it would add value to your lives as well. So I have not done that, as you guys can see. I don't promote any of that kind of stuff on here. The closest I have is down in my description. I have a link to SoFi, which is what I use for my fractional trading, and then Public, which is what I use to buy fractional trading for my son's account. That's it. I actually did have BlockFi down there as well, and I have now removed that because of the whole FTX fallout. I don't want to promote that to you guys because they're not functional anymore anyway, so you guys cannot utilize them. Plus, that ended up being something that ended up being bad, so I wanted to get rid of that. So if I do end up ever coming on here, and they have offered me a good amount of money that could potentially help me leave my job, so I'm looking at it, but again, these are things where if I do come out and do them, it's going to be because I have used them for myself, I have found value in them, and then I will share them with you guys. So I will also let you guys know ahead of time that this is coming because I like to be transparent, as you guys can see from my monthly videos for my income and investments, where I'm going to let you guys know everything that is going on and why I am doing these certain things and what value it brings to me. And with that said, I want to thank all of you guys on here as well, because without you and your support, I wouldn't be getting these offers from other people to pay me to advertise for them. So that really is quite awesome, and I take that as a major compliment, and I give kudos to all of you guys and thank you all for all of your support. So you guys can let me know down in the comments below, what do you think that China is going to hit for sales numbers for the quarter? And do you think Tesla is going to exceed exceed analyst estimates for the entire company for the quarter of 433,000. I know Tesla Karav has been sharing his numbers with me, and I haven't had a chance to dive into them fully because I want to be able to give them the proper attention that they deserve. So I'll be looking at all of that, but you guys can let me know in the comments below what you think Tesla is going to have for deliveries. My current projections right now are that Tesla is going to deliver 450,000 vehicles for Q4. And I will run my numbers this weekend to let you guys know what I think that China is going to be delivering out of that 450,000. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat, that link is down in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a membership program and a Patreon. Those links are also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.